Welcome everybody to another video from DM North TV. We are here tonight to discuss about the upcoming Two Team Takedown. This coming March 4th, I think, is when we're starting. The Two Team Takedown diversity format. I'm joined here tonight with our reigning... No, you're not the... Are you the reigning champion?
Not anymore.
Not anymore? Okay. Was it the other French guy? I forget who won the last one.
Oh no, for rating two team takedown champion, yes.
Okay.
Not rating world champion anymore.
CCM 00007. And our friend Comics Mike for all your comic book needs in New Baltimore, Michigan. Visit Mike's Comics and Games.
Oh.
Hashtag unsponsored. We're here tonight to kind of talk about the format and kind of give you some team ideas. See what can work. If you're having trouble kind of building for this, we've got some cards you might want to look at. Laurier's got a couple teams just to kind of give you a little taste and give you an excuse to join. Lots of fun. It is an online tournament. It's pretty much how Dice Masters is played now. And it takes course over 4 weeks. So you can get all the information on dm-north.com. There will be a link in the description below. So first things first, Laurier, do you want to kind of just tell us a little bit about the format?
Sure. Okay, so this time the Two Team Takedown event is going to be in a format that is called diversity. Essentially, among the two teams that you are going to be building, of the 16 characters and non-basic actions, all of them must be affiliated, but none of them can share an affiliation.
Yes.
So let's say that I take Lantern Ring. No, I can't take Lantern Ring. Let's say that I take, let's say, Batman from the Superman Kryptonite Crisis set that has the Bat Family, Justice League, and Superfans affiliations. Well, none of my other cards can have any of these affiliations. And that's across both teams.
Yes.
So the 16 characters and non-basic actions across both your teams cannot share a single affiliation, period, but they must all be affiliated.
Right. So really, there is a short ban list, but basically anything that doesn't have an affiliation is out, and then a few other cards that kind of make this format a little less fun are also out. Again, you can find that information on the website. But why don't we jump into the discussion here? So, why don't we? Laurier's got some teams. Mike's got some cards that he think is going to be interesting to play with. Why don't we just kind of go over the teams first and then jump into the cards? Reasonable?
Sure.
Okay.
But from the teams, you'll notice that we can get into some more conversations about where you should look. Okay. Because one thing now, the first team is on the screen now, right?
It's got a Hulk on it.
Yes. So, oh yeah, I see it. Okay,
Yeah.
So one thing that you'll notice, these two teams that I've put together, they are not legal to use together. Okay, you'll need to put a bit more effort than that because they do share affiliations among them. They're there to give you a starting point.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, why don't we talk about that before we kind of talk about this team? Like, how would you start building for this? Both of you.
Well, okay, Mike, why don't you go first?
Well, there's all different ways that you can start building. I usually find the card that I want to build around, which is either the fun card or the kill condition card. A great card that I would consider building. Now this one's up a lot of affiliation cards, but Professor X's is a great card that allows you to run pretty much with any card that an X-Men at that point. You could also look towards I don't know, a good kill condition. Another X-Men card, but Boom Boom that use actions are used, or Toon or like that. There's lots of that you can build a team around. But once you find that one card, that eliminates a chunk of your other things to use. Like That's why certain affiliations like X-Men, Avengers, another tough one is villains and monsters. There's certain ones that are going to emanate a lot of stuff. So you want to be careful about picking those ones. Those ones you might find really good stuff in.
Yes. What about you, Laurier? Like, how would you start?
Yeah, I mean, my starting point is to look at what I want to do in terms of the big affiliations, like the tough ones that Mike just alluded to: Avengers, villains, monsters, X-Men, Bat Family, Guardians. Those are the tougher ones because there's so many different things you can do with them.
Mm-hmm.
But really, the key isn't just in what you do with the big affiliations. It's what you do with the ones that have less cards. And if you look at the example team that's on the screen right now, I wanted to build around Mr. GG himself, Green Goliath control, right? So I want Hulk. That means I want Magic Missile. Now, from there, the rest of the team started to come together because, okay, I need ramp to get to Hulk. So I chose for my X-Men card, Professor X.
He's going to be on every team, isn't he?
He's going to be on
every team.
a fair amount of them. But there are so many good X-Men cards.
Oh, I know. It's going to be tough.
That it's going to be really difficult. You have the Rare Colossus, that's excellent. You have the Mimic, that's amazing removal. That's if people don't go for the other Mimic. But that's
I was going to say, no, he's not X-Men. That's right. I forgot about that.
So he's X-Force.
Yep.
Or Exiles, sorry.
Yes.
Exiles.
Yeah.
There's also something simple like that. There's Boom Boom, there's Jubilees, there's so many things to build. Colossus, so many cards to build around that professors might not make your cut.
But you have to be prepared in case he is. So one thing I'm going to say is when building for this, when you before you're done building, always keep in mind you need something to counter globals, something to punish your opponent for them or to stop them from being used.
Yep.
In this team right now, you'll notice I put Lilandra, the super rare, which makes your opponent pay life whenever global's used. That's going to make PXG expensive in a hurry. So this is the kind of card that you want to make sure that you keep in mind, hey, I need to free up an affiliation for that. And she's a great one for that. But to be fair, does Shi'ar have other good options too?
Mm-hmm.
Now, to go back to the building though, the second I decided on Hulk, and of course Magic Missile, okay, well, I want ways to get the bolts. I want ways to win as well otherwise. So Chwinga there, great source of bolts. Also, if my opponent tries to use Magic Missile to KO him, hey, thanks, you're giving me extra ramp anyway. And because he has Swarm, he's a great source of ramp in himself. So just a good, cheap bolt generator, especially when used with Clayface, to bring those bolts in my reserve pool. But now, I shouldn't need that many bolts with Hulk, so what should I use those bolts with? And this goes back to a point where it's not just the big affiliations that'll make your teams good, it's the ones that have less cards, but that have some really amazing hidden gems. Please put Kevin Nash on the screen. Now, if you have not read his ability, he's essentially if I've got Iceman at home. Iceman is banned in this event, but he's the next best thing. Let's be honest, for what's legal in this format anyhow. And so, for the same purchase cost, horrible fielding costs though.
Mm-hmm.
Deal damage to your opponent when he is attacking and he takes damage and he's not KO'd. Plus, he's got a global that you should not underestimate because it is a great counter against force block globals. So, because you can name your own card with that global and it can't block unless you choose to pay 2 life. And if your opponent's like, haha, I forced your sidekick to block my giant over-crushing monster, well, I'm just going to make it so that die can't block. And no, I'm not choosing to pay life to block.
Mm-hmm.
So much cool stuff. And this is, NWO has, I think, a total of 9 cards in that affiliation.
Yeah, not many.
So there are it's an obscure affiliation. It can do a lot for you if you know what to do. And I mean, this is the kind of stuff that you do when building. Look at what the small affiliations have and how those can help you. Don't just look at the big ones. Look at the small ones, and it'll help you build. So you never. And I know that, Mike, you had a point you wanted to make on that front in terms of affiliations to look for, right? So
Yeah, because once again, when you pick your Professor X or your Hulk, now you've lost both the X-Men affiliation and the Avengers affiliation. Even though you might want something like a Black Widow or a Bishop to help stop from coming at you or something like that, they've been eliminated. So you really need to look into other sets that have some niche things. Some of the best places to look is, for one, the War Light. The War Light has so many different affiliations. You just have to watch out for the dual affiliation. Some of them have villains. Once again, it's one of the big ones. But the other place to check and find a lot of really niche things, couple, but Dungeons and Dragons, all of those sets, there is, I couldn't tell you how many affiliations. Maybe Laurier knows how many affiliations in D&D. He might have done some more recent, but I can tell you, just looking through there, you can pick up 10, at least different affiliations without trying.
that's true.
And then the other one like that would be your Warhammer has a lot of great little niche cards that you're not going to overlap, and you're going to find fun stuff to.
Pardon me. That's a pretty safe set to grab from because it's got a lot of affiliation. Pardon me. Affiliations you're not going to see elsewhere, and no fear of kind of losing two good ones.
That's true.
Quote, good ones.
Just be careful when picking something from Space Wolves, because of the dual affiliations that's in that one, there is some overlap with the campaign box.
Yes.
But absolutely, like, those are great sets to choose from, Mike. And to go back on your War of Light comment, I just want to mention two cards that are legal to use together. And I know it's low effort, and I know some people are going to groan, and I know at least one person is probably going to have that as their hidden trick in their back pocket. I apologize in advance to that one person. Guy Gardner and Miriam are legal to use together in this format.
And I'm okay with that. Bring it on.
Listen, maybe I put together a team just to test it too. It's a fine thing. You put a Guy Gardner and a Miriam, and then use your monster slot something like a Cobalt. You're gonna have almost like an old Bard or an old Gardner Rush team that's pretty nasty.
Yeah. It can definitely escalate into something really hard, really fast. And especially when you give it the old PXG wrap, it can win turn 3, turn 4. Like, it's very fast.
It's very fast.
So this is the kind of stuff that you can definitely look out for. But now, you've seen the one example of the team. Jordan, would you mind putting the other one on the screen as well?
Yep.
Now, it's going to allow us to highlight a couple of other affiliations to look out for. Now, there is one card I expect everyone who has the rare Typhoid Mary is probably going to try to put it in one of their teams, because the hand affiliation literally only has one character in all of Dice Masters, and that is the best version of that character.
Yes.
So I fully expect Typhoid Mary to be in.
Promo's fine. Promo's fine.
Yeah, the promo's fine, but hi, I'm going to be a blanker that fully stops an opposing card is usually too tempting to pass up for most players.
Yeah, and with Shriek's is legal in this, so I mean you can still use Shriek, but this kind of opens up your villain slot.
Yeah, and that's a key part, because the villain slot, there is so much in there. There's so much that you could want to put as your villain, and this is actually one thing I love about this format, is that it's self-limiting to a point where it neutralizes a lot of the problem card. So let's say, oh, I want to do Hope Summers. I can't because I can't use another X-Men card.
I hope someone does bring Hope Summers. I want someone to do that now. Please, if you're watching this video.
There's one that lets you drop for
No.
other X-Men.
I want someone to bring that Hope Summers. That's a challenge to you. Bring a Hope Summers.
No
team.
thanks.
No, don't. Please don't.
Don't bother.
But yeah. So, I mean, along with the affiliations with just one or two cards, there are some affiliations with few bomb cards in it. If you could put the Mary Shazam on. So Mystics has a few standout cards that are really good. And so this is definitely one of those affiliations you want to keep an eye on as you build. Because, I mean, you've seen this is a great win con to build around. And this is essentially what this whole team is literally a Mary Shazam team. How can we make Mary Shazam as big, bulky, and impossible to deal with as possible?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Mystics is one of those affiliations. It doesn't have that many cards. Like Fantastic Four is the same way, right? Where it's only been in 2 sets, but you got a Force Attack Global, a Force Block Global. You've got the Invisible Wrecking Ball, as I like to call her. You've got Human Torch, Johnny Storm, if you go back to the old AVX set. Like, so there are a few of those affiliations that are sprinkled in there, and it's kind of crazy. And by the way, there's a bit of an unknown fact for a lot of you. 16 cards with different affiliations may sound like a lot, but do you know how many affiliations there are in Dice Masters?
I actually do not have a clue.
By my count, 67.
Oh, wow. I
So-
didn't know there are that many.
So yeah, you've got a lot of things to go through. So you don't have to worry. 16 doesn't sound like a lot. It doesn't sound like you can do it, but it actually isn't that much when you consider how many affiliations there are in Dice Masters.
Yeah.
There are a few trash ones. I don't think anyone's going to bring anything Thousand Dragon affiliated, but still, there's
And
plenty.
Slifer one?
What's that?
Slifer? I thought he was Thousand Dragon.
No. Slifer is Egyptian Gods. Egyptian Gods is one of those that has a few really good ones.
Oh, Thousand Dragon's not affiliated.
No. The Thousand Dragon affiliation. If you look at Baby Dragon or Time Wizard,
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
because those are the cards that you could fuse together to make Thousand Dragon. So they gave them an affiliation.
Okay.
So that affiliation is trash. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't bother looking, Yu-Gi-Oh.
Again, Egyptian Gods.
Egyptian
Again,
Gods could be fun.
Except for Egyptian gods.
Yeah. Where'd your team go? Okay.
Okay, so let's go back to the team, though. You'll notice Mary Shazam benefits me spending a lot of energy, making her very big, and the bigger she is, the harder she is to deal with. You'll notice I need ramp. I didn't put PXP this time. So, Kobold, come to my rescue, my friend. Now, obviously, cheap Swarm, costs literally just 1 energy.
Mm-hmm.
Really useful to just get them quickly, get those cheap dice, and it gets out of control in a hurry. You do need to watch your bag control, though. And one thing that helps with that is the Wolverine, who is just a little prep global, so I can do a nice bag reset at the right time. You are going to want to field some sidekicks, though, as you run this team. Hence why Falcon is there. Gives you a chance to, if you've managed your bag well, field a sidekick. Also force your opponent to field a sidekick so that you can force your opponent to block Mary Shazam with Mr. Booker. And of course, once that die blocks Mary Shazam, Cone of Cold can make Mary Shazam outrageously big by literally giving her 2 attack from the global +1 from her ability for each fist you spend. So that's 3 extra damage per energy, which is an outrageous economy.
I like this team.
By the way, you'll notice Kree Captain over there, that I used the villain slot for that. Just as an illustration, there's more to villains than Shriek and Sinister and Dark Phoenix and all the other craziness.
Mm-hmm.
So that Kree Captain Global can be used to discount Mary Shazam, get her for 4 instead of 5, essentially. Since I'm already relying on fists really heavily. And what do I also have to help me get fists? Mr. Black Dwarf over here. Nice psychic fixer. The Black Order affiliation does not have that many competitive staples, so this is one of those hidden gems that you should keep in the back of your mind as you build.
Yeah, because the other option for this would be Grodd, which is a villain, and Legion of Doom. And
Exactly. And
what's that other one?
Yarn Bjorn, which is unaffiliated.
Right? And wasn't there's a D&D thing that does sidekick fixing?
Oh yeah, Intellect Devourer. But
Yes.
yeah,
But it's a monster. And he has Cobalt on him already.
Yeah. Yeah.
that's right. That's right.
But that's definitely a good use of the global. There's multiple ways to get that global, but not many ways to not waste other slots.
Exactly.
Well,
So this
it's
is
prioritize slots.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
It's if you need a fixer and you feel like you have to have it, there's nothing wrong with spending a villain to get a bolt fixer.
No, nothing wrong with it.
especially considering the bolt fixer that's a villain is Merlin, who's an amazing secondary win condition.
Yeah, that too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that too.
And
Go ahead.
and by the way, the global hit for this team might not be as obvious, but look at Istrid. You fielder, you name a global. It can be a distraction global so that your opponent can't stop your attack, or it can be a Professor X global to say you're not ramping this turn.
Yeah, that's always mean. It's always hilarious when someone's saving up their masks and then you say no.
Now, the thing is, though, if you put Istrid in one of your teams, you lose access to the Dwarf Wizard.
Good.
It's one of those affiliations with a few good cards. It's another one of those affiliations with just a few good cards. It's the Zentarum.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, so this is essentially like, yeah, I know, but my team building style is a little bit everything flows into each other.
Yeah, and this
This
is solid.
So
yeah, well, I just get fun things.
So Hope Summers for you. Got it.
That got it. Yeah.
well, Mike, you're a really solid. You're a really solid team builder, though. Let's be honest.
Oh well, I can't speak. Nope, that's for other people to say. Sorry.
Did you want to? You'd mentioned some kind of standout cards or like hidden gem type cards, Mike. Did you want to talk about some of those?
Hidden gems? I don't. Man, there's a lot of useful cards just all over the place. And like I said, some of the best places to look is in D&D. Now, Dwarf Wizard mentioned.
Yep. I expect to see. I expect to see a fair bit of Dwarf Wizard, to be honest with you.
Yeah, this card's probably going to be everywhere. But just as a reminder, nice we'll put everybody on an even playing field here. That card is very important, very good. And doesn't tend to take up much of an affiliation. Guy Gardner's another one that's just he's a good kill cushion and leaves a lot of things wide open. And once again, if you're building within, you can find a lot to build within the color scheme of the colored lanterns. One thing that everybody should check out that not everybody remembers, even though this is really based around affiliations, there are some basic actions that people use to be your win condition. Team up's definitely one that can come into play and do a lot of other stuff.
That was probably the first card that came up when we were designing this format, because it's the obvious basic action to include, because it works well in this format. But it's balanced. You can both buy it. You can both benefit from it.
Correct. But there's other ones out there too. So and there's also the new epic basic actions with. Let's be honest. A lot of us, while played a lot of these old cards, some of the new stuff we might not have played as much with the Secret War things, and there might be a. I honestly can't think of one, but I need to look through the epics more and check those out. But I do have one team that's based around a basic action to a global one. So I can share it. I might not share it. I don't know.
Well,
maybe
can you share the action, or is it like top secret?
Yeah, well, that gives away so much of the stuff. But I'd be willing to. Maybe we build Jordo a team here. Right? No, I don't know.
I'll get around
I
to
think
it.
he'd love it. Huh?
Well, you want my thoughts on which epic basic action you should build around Zordo?
What's that?
Cosmic Cube.
Oh,
You should
yes.
build a Cosmic Cube team with Common Kate Bishop. Unleash the wrath of Common Kate Bishop upon the world.
Huh. Maybe.
You will need a forecast to use to be able to purchase the cube, though, because you need a forecast on the board to be able to afford an epic basic.
Yeah.
There's something you can do there. Like I said, try not to ignore anything. But yeah, there's too many good things. I mean, you can just look through. If you want to make a real power team, you can look through old Worlds team. You're going to find
there's definitely some Worlds teams you can play with here.
I know which forecast you should put in a Cosmic Cube team, Jordo.
What's that?
The Common Vixen.
Oh my god. Oh, hang on. We're writing that in the notebook.
Cody's got a notebook. Didn't know he had
it.
Got my notebook. Right
oh, she's not affiliated?
No!
Oh,
no!
Seriously, click on the card. I want to make sure. Oh, that is... That would have been her chance to shine. That would have been the meme team. I thought she might have Justice League or something. Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, the tournament's canceled now. Sorry.
Oh, but Kate Bishop is.
I'm still writing this down. I love that. Kate Bishop Vixen. Cosmic Cube. That's going to come in later. I don't know how. Maybe I'll print off a sticker and stick it on the card. No one will notice.
The zombie. Isn't one the zombie that was... No, he only cost 3, right?
That would have been amazing.
Not 4. Up the zombies. The Marvel zombies.
Zombies.
Just look at the Marvel zombies affiliation here.
Oh, the Marvel zombies. That's a big one to play.
I think it's Electro, right?
2 damage to each player. That's true. That can work towards that.
So. And then he has a frost. Okay. There we go.
He's a oh yeah, so you could put Zombie Electro as your forecast. You heal them, deal 2 damage to each player. Then you get your action, get it on the board, and you find some way to get him off the board so that when you swap your opponent's life, that's already you give your opponent 2 or less life, feel the Electro, win that way.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Oh my gosh,
that's pretty good.
That could be a meme team from heck.
/ zombie Electro.
So yes, meme teams are great too. See, you can build fun team, and zombies doesn't take up slot.
No, I mean Magneto you could use.
Yeah, he would be the one for the power gamers.
Yeah,
and then everybody else gets some stuff.
Yeah, what's interesting though is that you could get the same effect from Magneto if you went with the super rare Ken on the Shi'ar side. But yeah, I mean, it is slightly unfortunate that you'd lose access to, say, Lilandra and Deathbird as potential options for that affiliation.
Well, and the
Gladiator.
Oh crap! You're right.
Yeah, like that's a costly card.
That hurts.
Yeah.
Don't forget Gladiator. He's a very good card.
Yeah, I think Gladiator is going to be a thing.
Shi'ar
is very stacked for how few cards there are.
Yeah, Shi'ar Infinity
Watch.
Infinity Watch are also loaded. Seriously, pull up that affiliation, Jordo, and that affiliation is it's only in 2 sets. It's an Infinity Gauntlet and then Secret Wars. But oof.
Pardon me as I look for it.
It's
towards the end, isn't
it? Near the bottom. It's at the bottom.
Oh, way down there. Okay, got it.
Yeah, because it was one of the more recent ones.
Okay.
Because you got the rare Black Panther, which is Reroll City. You've got the uncommon name war, that's instant war on legs, but unfortunately you lose Fantastic Four at the same time. You've got like the rare Widow, do I need to say more? The rare Drax, do I need to say more? Pip the Troll. You've got like some. You got the Force Attack on Doctor Strange. You've got the almost unblockable Black Widow with Crush.
Mm-hmm.
So there is some cool stuff. That affiliation is pretty loaded for how few sets it's in.
Yeah. I'd agree with that. Anything else you guys want to add to this? We'll try to keep the videos somewhat short. Just to encourage people to some ideas for people who might be struggling with team building.
Once again, what I say is find it's either going to make you happy, let you have fun, or find that kill condition. When you find kill condition that you want, start building around it. Everybody's got a different play style.
Yeah.
But you definitely this feels like one of the wide open tournaments. Even though you're limiting yourself off right away, at least we get choices and to choose from just about anything. So
yeah. Which I know some people like Golden, some people don't. But yeah, it's up to you how you want to play this. You can go hardcore, you can go meme, whatever makes you happy.
Yeah, what I would say is you don't need to stress out even though it's Golden, because again, because of the way the format's built, it's very self-limiting. There is so much like there are so many insane combos that we would have had to deal with normally in Golden that are just not there. So just find something that you like to build around and look for the pieces. Look for the pieces around it. It'll be fine once you just get started. But yeah, don't overthink it. It's there for it's fun at the end of the day, right?
Mm-hmm. No cash prizes for this, sorry.
I will give $1.
$1 American dollar.
So $1 American. That's all for you guys.
Yeah, for us, like that could like buy a house.
Oh, there you go.
I think that might do it for what we wanted to kind of accomplish here. So we got a couple team ideas for you. We got a few cards that you might want to look at, and encourage you to sign up. So sign up will probably end, I believe it's the Friday coming up, which is the 20... No, it's the 1st, isn't it?
Yeah, March 1st.
March 1st. Teams are due March 1st. I can't remember what time. Find it out on the website. And then the tournament is scheduled to start on the Monday. We do need things on the Friday because we have to manually check all the teams to make sure they're legal. There's no shortcut for this one, unfortunately. I think that'll do it. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining me for this, and looking forward to seeing you in the tournament.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for having me.
Bye.